Sí, me dijeron que era así. Me siento para pruebas.
Acá está más oscuro, entonces quizá mejor que vos estés acá.
Ok, como habíamos dicho entonces, yo mire, ajá, el jugador. Entrenador
Sí,
y
entrenador,
jugador.
jugador.
These are ready. So only they need to put it.
Yes, if you want to turn it on, here.
Turn it on.
Yeah.
Turn it on. All very only that the coach
Yes,
put
yes,
it.
yes. Here.
They need to put play.
Yes, right. So it should look like this. That's
Okay.
ready. And then all they need to do is put
Okay.
headphones.
I don't need it. I don't need it.
And then make sure this is English. Oh no, this is in Spanish. This needs to go English.
Yes, English. Sorry.
Oh wait, no. Okay, there we go. This is English, so all they need to do is put headphones already.
Okay. You are going with the microphone here. You have the microphone
Yes,
here,
yes, yes.
and what is the bottle?
Blake and Edwin.
Okay, take it. The microphones. We can do contact eyes if you need something. I will be like you. It's coming. So everybody can sit down. We'll begin in 1 minute, please. You? I'm fine. Hi, how are you? Christina, nice to meet you.
Christina?
Yeah.
Jesse?
Yeah, Alphonso. Sit down and have fun together.
Okay, sounds good.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the first press conference for the Copa América 2024. In the main table is the head coach for Canada, Jace March, and the player, Alphonso Davies. Remember that to make questions, they need to raise their hand, and also please do not be recorded and any photos, so please don't put out the phones, okay? So we begin in here, we can raise the hands.
Buenos días, de Augusto Raquijar de Canal 12 Chubut y FM del Viento para el técnico March. ¿Qué esperan de Argentina? Imaginando un partido distinto a lo habitual que juega la selección, ¿esperan un partido u otro en base a esas variantes que se hablan, que el equipo... Reitero. Buenos días. Ahí estamos, gracias. Le preguntaba qué partido espera de que haga Argentina, pensando en qué sentido, preparando el partido ante Canadá, y si las variantes que se manejan por estas horas usted las está mirando y prepara un partido de cara a una Argentina con Di María, con Nico González, o en el medio campo si es lo mismo Paredes o por ejemplo Enzo Fernández. Gracias.
Yeah, so listen, we have such a high level of respect for the team. We obviously know the quality of their players. We've done a lot of preparation individually, but our players obviously know a lot of the qualities of their players. And now we've just tried to educate what it looks like as a team, and then to make sure that we understand what our approach is, what our tactics are, and what our match plan is. In terms of what to get out of the midfield, you're right when you say that they've used a lot of different midfield combinations. We're prepared for all of the different options, but clearly it's a little different if Di Maria plays than Lo Celso, and how they use McAllister, and so there are some nuances there that we will have to make adjustments right before match time. But our team is aware of the qualities of their team, their midfield, their entire team, their strengths, and we know we're in for a really tough match, but we're really excited for the challenge.
Hi, maybe a question for both of you. We know Argentina are world champs, Copa America champs. On paper, they're a scary team, but we also saw at the World Cup that they're not invincible, losing to Saudi Arabia. Is that a situation that you see as maybe a blueprint of what you guys can do, or something as a motivation or confidence factor in any way?
Go ahead, Fon.
Yeah, like you said, Argentina is the best team in the world, and us playing this game against them is going to be, a battle. You're playing against a team with a high quality, a lot of quality and a lot of organization. I think we prepared well for this game, and our mindset is strong. We're going out there playing against, the World Cup champions, and that's motivation for us, and obviously just to win this game and try to move on.
Alphonso, just right here. How have you noticed this past week being different from the European trip? Getting to know Jesse, getting to know his demands. This week, certainly training in the heat, but getting ready for the opening of a tournament. How have you noticed maybe a change in the players' mentality, knowing that now the games are going to really start to matter?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when he first came in, he had a game plan for us. In Europe, he tried to execute it. The first game against Netherlands didn't go so well. But against France, I think we're starting to learn more and more about his tactics. And yeah, I mean, we know this is a competition and we want to win it. And is it going to be difficult? Definitely. But I think all the boys are ready. We're all invested in what he's telling us, and we're ready to go.
And Jesse, how have you noticed, from your perspective, their mentality has changed from last week in Europe to now?
Yeah, I think the training sessions have been harder. We've been together more, so we've been able to, we kind of had to put everything together quickly before the Dutch match, with some MLS players arriving late. And there were so many new themes and topics, tactical and leadership. But I think they responded really well, like Fonzie said, and they're eager to try to learn what we're going to be doing as we move forward, and their ability to execute grew within the time we've been together. Here we've pushed the fitness, we've pushed the mentality, we've pushed the level of training, because we know that that's what it will require for a tournament setting like this. And to also include the fact that we're playing 3 South American teams that we know are experienced, that we know are savvy, that we know are difficult to play against, are physical. So, I think our mindset has been to make sure that in all ways we want to be prepared for what these opponents will provide and challenge. And then, again, looking at Argentina, if I just build on what your question is, I think Argentina will have learned from the mistake they made in Qatar against Saudi Arabia, and we are expecting nothing but the absolute best from their team. So we'd be foolish to not prepare that way, I think.
From this sports and this sport radio, I will make the question in Spanish. So,
You can put the...
Okay. Your English is good, though.
La selección argentina tiene en Messi uno de sus principales valores. Quería preguntarle si va a tener alguna contemplación especial, algún formato, alguna técnica o táctica especial para contener a Lionel Messi, el capitán de Argentina. Y Alfonso le quería consultar si la presencia de María por tu banda te podría condicionar para ir al ataque. Gracias.
Okay, I'll start. Yeah, I think the challenge with Messi is not just his quality, but his ability to kind of move around in the game. And he doesn't just show up in the same places all the time. He's very clever about coming underneath at times, about how he moves off the back line. Obviously, anytime he gets on the ball, the way that he can start to create combinations and really provide confidence and pause and quality for the team is very unique, right? Probably this is what makes him the best player to ever play the game. So there are clear things we need to address with him, but the key, I think, is to really be always aware of where he is and make sure that he's not in open space and that we're able to close space and try to make it difficult on him. You know, I've played against him, coached against him a few times and had some successes, but he's always finds ways to make a difference because his quality is so amazing. So that'll be the challenge for us. I think the guys are prepared and excited for it, but we know that it will be very difficult.
Yeah, for me, Di Maria obviously is a world-class player. You know, I played against him when he played with Paris, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be difficult to stop him. You know, if you give him time and space, you know, he creates things. But overall, we know that they hit not just him. You know, throughout the whole team, they have dangerous players as well. And yeah, I mean, we're going to defend well as a team, and definitely try to win our 1v1 battles for sure.
Only when you put the microphone, please put it very well in the mouth because the translation need to listen very well the question. So please help me with that.
A little bit. Yeah.
Hey, Jesse, the only real change between the France and the Netherlands game was who you had in net. Who starts in goal for you tomorrow?
I'm not revealing that right now.
Where are you at with your goalkeepers right now?
Yeah, I think both have done well in camp, and I think they have a really good relationship. They're going to be very competitive with each other, and I'm happy with both of them, but I'm not going to reveal that decision right now.
Jesse, Argentina have lost the 2 games in the past 5 years. Obviously, it's a very difficult challenge, but the last team to beat them was Uruguay with Bielsa, who has obviously got connections to your career. When you watch that game back, what did you think? What did Uruguay do really well in that game that you can maybe see as a blueprint?
Well, what they did well was the Bielsa football, which is man marking, making it very difficult on the key players for Argentina, and then they spread the field a lot and challenged Argentina to deal with their athleticism and their ball movement. So Bielsa has a very specific way of playing that is different than mine, but certainly understanding how to be aggressive in duels, how to not back down to their high-quality players and their physicality will be important for us. And so we're still a young team and a developing team in that way, but I've challenged our group to understand what this game will be like and what it will require. And it will be very difficult for us, no doubt on that. Maybe even more than a football and tactical perspective is the experience and the physicality of what the match will be. But this is, I think, good for us, and it's a good way for us to understand what the highest standard of the game is like. And again, when you look at the Dutch and the French games in the lead up to that, we've now been in 2 matches together where the level of play and the attention to detail is at the highest level. And so it's an exciting challenge for us. It's a big challenge for us, but it'll help us grow, and I think we'll be up for it.
And Alphonso, can you just put into words what it means to you to lead this team in a major tournament? Now you're the full-time captain.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great honor. You know, I thank Jesse for putting the trust in me, and you know, and also the guys that have trusted me to lead this team. Yeah, I'm very happy to wear the armband for this country, and you know, it's something you dream about as a kid. You know, I have my former captain over there, Atiba. You know, I'm definitely going to go to him for some, you know, advice. He's been captain for a national team for quite a long time, and yeah, just being able to play with him and be around him, you know, during camps, you know, I've learned a lot from him for sure.
Hi.
Sorry.
Germán Carrara para Hola VIP en Spanish.
Yeah.
¿Cuál es su opinión sobre Lionel Scaloni?
In terms of, what do you...
Sí, en general, ¿cómo es para usted enfrentar al técnico campeón del mundo? ¿Qué considera sobre Scaloni, el técnico que tiene que enfrentar?
Yeah, clearly, his understanding of how to get the best out of his team, right? And in years where everyone in the country, I think, wanted Messi to win titles, to show that he's the best player to ever play the game, he found a system and a mentality to get the best out of Messi as well as his teammates. And so I think that he deserves so much credit for, you know, how to get that balance right, how to challenge the group to understand their roles, but also to all feed into how they could play into Messi's strengths. And that balance, I think, has won them tournaments and gotten Messi to be what he is internationally. I mean, we all known that from a club perspective that he's always been the best in the world. But for Messi's legacy, I think it was really important to hold the World Cup, and he found a way to do that.
Jesse, good morning. A question for you in Spanish, please.
Okay.
Diego Provenzano del diario Clarín de Argentina. Hemos leído mucho sobre tu historia reciente en ascenso durante estos últimos años, pero también leímos que se te criticó mucho por las frases que colocabas en tu paso por el Leeds y por el Leipzig. Quería saber, sin que escuche Alfonso y como si no hubiera nadie en esta sala, ¿qué frase tenés en mente para decirle al plantel en la previa a un debut de Copa América contra la Argentina campeona?
Yeah, I would describe it differently than the way you've described it. But in general, we are addressing Argentina, right? And we know how good they are. But where we are in our process, it's more about us, right? And so I'm having the team focus on what we think is important, how to continue our development path, how to stick to the things that we think are going to make us good. And we still feel like if we can do that in the match, that we can be successful. And we know it's the biggest challenge that we could be presented with at the start of a big tournament, but I'm confident in our team. I'm confident in the process we created, and I believe that we will have a very good match and that the players will go after the game in every way. So listen, that confidence and self-belief has to always be there with our team, and we'll be ready.
Yes, for the
First, and then you second.
For the coach, we talk a lot about Messi, but which is the strength, apart from Messi, which is the strength of Argentina? And for the player, for Davies, Alphonso Davies, sorry if it's a bit out of context, but I come from Spain. What can you, I know you are concentrated in Canada, but what can you say about the rumors link you with Real Madrid? Because people in Spain are talking a lot about you. Thank you very much for both.
Yeah, I mean, look, we know that Argentina will be ready. We know that they're a good team. We'll be ready for them. We're excited for the match.
Yeah, for me, I think my main focus right now is with my national team to play well in this tournament. You know, to help my team go far. And yeah, as of now, that's where my head's at. You know, I'll think about it when we're past this tournament.
Jesse, you've been asked a lot about Argentina. A lot of Canadians are going to be watching this team probably for the first time since the World Cup. What kind of team do you want them to see tomorrow?
Yeah, I think an organized and disciplined team will be important. We've talked a lot about that. And then an aggressive team, you know, a team that plays fearless, a team that goes after the game, even at moments when we know that Argentina will possess the ball and they'll bring the crowd into the match. That will still be really organized. That will stay strong. That will still be aggressive at the right moments. We won't give Argentina a ton of space. We'll try to be compact, and then, you know, in our moments we'll show our quality on the ball, and we'll certainly try to be dynamic in transition moments. And we think that can play to our strengths. So it's a big challenge, but again, we're excited. You know, we don't look at this as how good Argentina is. We look at it as an opportunity for us to grow, for us to be better, and for us to prove to ourselves how good we can be.
Alphonso, following on KJ's question, as captain, how will you change? Are you the type of guy that will give pregame speeches, halftime speeches? Do you intend to be more vocal on the pitch? Or will you just be yourself and lead by example? And maybe after you're done, Jesse, in giving him this role, what are your expectations for him in changing? Do you want him to be different, and how?
For me, yeah, I don't think I'll need to change anything. I think me being myself is, is good enough. Definitely, yeah, I'm gonna give some speeches, but overall, I'm just gonna, go out there and play the game I know how to play, and help the team, and definitely, contribute to the team winnings.
Yeah, I think, look, what we did first is we talked with the leadership council, and then we talked about Fonzie being the captain. And then I didn't say anything. The guys spoke. And they all said to him, you don't have to change. You have to be yourself, right? And I think he expressed that. But what I've seen since I've gotten to know Fonzie is a guy that cares a lot for the national team, a guy that wants to take on a bigger role, someone who trains hard and leads by example, that enjoys being around the team, but is also challenging the group to grow and improve and get better. And so he's one of our youngest players in the squad, but I think he's also equipped with a lot of the qualities to be one of the biggest leaders and the most important player, certainly when we get to 2026, and the most important person in the team. We don't expect him to get everything perfect right now. And by the way, captains don't have to get everything perfect all the time anyway. But for sure, I think that he will have a platform and the support and an opportunity to grow within the role and continue to become everything that we know that he will become. And that's what we're entirely focused on.
Hi, Jesse. I'm here.
Okay.
How did the France game inform your lineup? And do we expect to see pretty much the same lineup from the France game tomorrow?
Look, we again, we're in this two-phase process. On one phase is totally focused on ourselves and the development of the team and the pathway that we're trying to create to be the best that we think we can become. But in the other sense, we always have to address the opponents and what they present to us. And certainly when you talk about the opponent of Argentina, we have to really be thinking carefully about within our framework, within our identity, will be necessary for us to be successful on the day. And that will, if we can be successful on the day, no matter the result, that will ultimately help our overall process. But, and again, I think if we stick to that, then we give our best chance of success. So there won't be, if there are changes, there won't be a lot, because I think that group has grown already together. And the key will be that we also get good performances from the bench as well.
After the France game, the guys had 3 days off, which you said you were not happy about. Did you get enough time to have them fit enough for the Copa America?
We pushed them really hard.
Yes.
Yes. So, I mean, given the conditions, the weather conditions, and the demands of what these games are, we knew that it was vital that we were at top fitness, and I believe we've pushed them in a way that we've gotten them there, and they've recovered. We've gone through a lot of tactical and conceptual principles as well, so that I think that they'll be prepared. Yeah, and we're excited. We're excited.
Jesse, right over here. Jesse, right back here.
Okay, sorry.
There's a lot of known commodities on this team. You're not going to reveal your starting 11, but there is a chance that there's going to be 3 or 4 guys who are going to be making their, major tournament debuts. How are you going to be evaluating them? If everything is pointed towards 2026, what do you want to see out of those players who are going to be taking a stage like this for the first time?
Yeah, mostly just the clarity. Yeah, I mean, of course, it's a big opponent. It's a big tournament. We know but these guys are all pros. They've been through big situations, and now they're off the back of playing 2 big opponents. And so, of course, there will be certain things that will be presented in this match that are different. But in the end, I want to see a team that is fearless, that believes in themselves, that trust each other on the pitch, that are clear with the tactical model and the roles that we're trying to create for them. And if they can do that and trust that and believe in it, then they will be able to execute better, and then they will perform better. And then overall, we give ourselves a better chance at a result.
Alphonso over here. When you reflect on your personal journey, Alphonso, coming from overseas to Canada, what's going to be going through your mind when you lead out the nation tomorrow in this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, as you guys all know, I came to Canada when I was 5. You know, they took me in, they made me one of their own, and yeah, I love this country. I think before the game, obviously, it's going to be a lot of emotions. You know, leading out the team against an opponent like Argentina is going to be big, and being able to wear the armband, you know, for the first official time in my career would be something spectacular. But for me, when I step on the pitch, I mean, I just, you know, we cue into the coach's tactics, his lesson. He told us what to do before the game. But overall, for me, I just, you know, go out there, play my game, and try to win the game, I guess.
This was the last question.
Jesse, a lot of focus has been on the defensive side, the press, the high line. What are some things you maybe want to see on the offensive side of the game, and things you maybe learned as a reference point from playing the French and the Dutch last week?
Yeah, I think actually in both matches we had some really good moments of possession, and you know, we're kind of it's not a full departure what we're trying to do with the ball from some of the things that have been done here in the past and the foundation that's been laid. So that transition, I think, into what we want to develop as we move forward has been relatively smooth. Certainly, we're trying to be more aggressive and effective in transition moments against the French in the second half specifically. If we could have been a little bit sharper in a couple moments, maybe we could have found a way to get the lead and maybe a goal and maybe get a win. But I know that the offensive quality that we have on the pitch and the dynamic players that we have mean that we will score enough goals. So I think in everything it's about the structure and the connection of what we're trying to do, and then the understanding of how to execute it at a high level. And that's where I think that, again, these opponents have been challenging for me in terms of how to create a standard for what's necessary for us in our pathway, but also for the players to execute. But I'll tell you, just based on the first two matches, it was much, much better than I could have hoped going into that process. So now, where we are now, I think we're stronger for that. I think there's a high level of belief. And now we have a chance to on a big test once more, to see how we hold up and can we execute. And I believe that we'll have a good match tomorrow. And I believe that we'll have a good start and that the team will show confidence in an incredibly difficult situation. Good?
That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank
We'll
you.
finish.